when we all came, in the league, that was the first time that with Dirk and Pau, you had NBA franchises started to believe that we can have a European player as our franchise player.
If you have the pressure to say something profound, you rarely will say something profound because all you're doing is being paralyzed by the pressure.
Right.
And so that stress, definitely, I had that for a while. And I think as you get more comfortable with yourself and as you get more comfortable in your space, you start to realize all you can do is be present.
I'd love to say it's all me, but I have a great team, and if you don't have a great team around you, you're never gonna grow.
You drive around somebody and you calling them out, they'll be better. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the culture.
Yeah.
This neighborhood got they basketball player, we got our basket, you know what I mean? Let's go play.
Yes.
He was a free man that was pushing boundaries for people to accept themselves and to make it, to explain them, you are worth it.
It was always my dream, right? When you have a dream to be professional, my dream is to be an Olympian. I didn't think I was going to be anything other than an Olympian. And then once I made it to the Olympics and I was 17, then it's, like, okay, what's the next goal?
So we started at the Hall of Fame. I want to take it back to the beginning. So young Dirk, who did young Dirk want to be?
Well, my first role model was my dad. He was a sports guy. He's played handball in Europe. So I started actually playing handball ever since I can remember. Then I played tennis. I was a decent tennis player, so I wanted to be like Boris Becker, Boom Boom Becker. You guys remember him? Legend.
Shout
out to my guy. And so those were some of my first sports heroes. And then I didn't start really basketball until I was about 12, 13, a little late. And then that was just around the 90s when Michael Jordan took over. And so I was diehard Bulls fan. Back in the days, there was no internet. You couldn't really catch that many games. So all the league was promoting was usually the Bulls. So we caught like 1 or 2 games live every once a week or twice a week. And it was usually the Bulls. So I was a diehard Pippen fan, loved his versatility. And loved MJ. I mean, he was the GOAT for me of all time. And then I was a diehard Chicago Bulls fan, and I loved Charles Barkley later on too. He's actually the reason I played with number 11 when I started basketball because my dad had 11 in handball, and then when I saw Charles in the '92 Olympics at number 14. I actually switched my number to 14 because I loved Charles as well. So those were some of my first idols when I got going.
So if I'm thinking about Charles Barkley game, I'm thinking athleticism. I'm thinking post up, banging people.
Not thinking about me.
Why Charles Barkley?
I don't know. I love this intensity, man. I loved. He was undersized, but what a beast, man.
He was a beast.
Unbelievable how he got it done there, and so explosive. I mean, I love watching athletic players, even though that wasn't really my game. But, that was definitely something that caught my eye, and he was just so explosive. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, he was. Pau, who did young Pau want to be?
I think my guy growing up was Tony Kukoč. I was able to call him, and he accepted the honor to be my presenter. Growing up in Europe, he was the kind of the guy that stood out for me. He was very versatile, even though he was a lefty. I played small forward until I was 18, 19 years old because I was so skinny, and I felt more comfortable outside, and I didn't fully grow up to the 7'1" frame that I turned out to be. So Tony was, the guy obviously that he went and joined the Bulls. The '92 Olympics had a big impact. He was the guy, the European guy, that was up and coming, and so he had. And then obviously the Bulls and MJ and all that also had an effect. But yeah, Tony was kind of like the guy that I wanted to emulate and kind of follow the steps, and he inspired me to try to be another, or get to the NBA and follow that path.
You can only have numbers, for the 15, so you couldn't get 23. So I'll be pissed when I was a kid. I was like, why you can't get 23? Why that rule only 4 to 15? You know, like I didn't understand that rule. I wanted 23. And so when he played in the Olympics and he had 9, I was like, oh, I'm going to play with 9.
Oh, you were good. You got to pick your number when you was young?
Yeah.
Oh, I just got thrown a jersey here.
I got lucky. I got lucky. But you're right. But that's why some of my jerseys is not 9, you know, growing up, because then I was the little one. I was the rookie. So you can't choose your number.
Right,
so,
okay.
So some of my jerseys are not 9, but most of the time they were 9.
So we talk about Michael Jordan. Obviously, I think all of us, we grew up, we're roughly around the same age. So we grew up in the era of, you know, who would probably be our GOAT. Who is the European GOAT? Tony, who would be the European GOAT for you? What was that player that you would look at and say, this is a European GOAT? Either when you were young or either now. Who is that person?
My European GOAT is Dirk Nowitzki.
Okay.
I think he's the European GOAT, you know. Then it's very debatable with Pau, because Pau won so much, you know, at the European level. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's true, D. I wish sometime Pau Gasol was not born. I would have won a lot more gold medals and a lot sooner. But to me, it's debatable, and what you take in consideration if you take the NBA or European. So I will go with 1A and 1B.
Okay.
You know? And I say that sincerely, because no disrespect to the older guys, but when we all came, you know, in the league, that was the first time that with Dirk and Pau, you had NBA franchises started to believe that we can have a European player as our franchise player. And Dirk was the first one to do that, like to be the franchise guy.
Yeah.
And then Pau with Kobe, then me with Timmy and Manu, and then now you have a lot of European guys who are their franchise guys. But Dirk paved that way for us as Europeans. My thing was to become the first European point guard. For you, is it weird, like as an American perspective, to go in the Hall of Fame with 3 Europeans? You know, like did you ever?
Like, I'm the minority at this table.
like as you, not because I watched the documentary, you know, the Redeem Team, and congrats to that. It was an unbelievable documentary. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Like,
Pau, you was good with it?
I was great with it. I was so happy. That was
my favorite part.
I was one of the marketing tools on the documentary. I was like, I was the key. I was right there.
Yeah, you were important, bro.
I moved up.
But like in your perspective, you know, and as an American, and I know because of my dad is American, I know how proud Americans are to be the best, you know, in basketball and to show that they're best. Like, how do you feel like about European basketball the way it is now, and having a lot of top players there, Europeans? What you think and how you feel about that?
That's a great question.
Can you tell by the way he has a podcast too?
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Definitely, I can tell. 3 years too. 3 years of running. He's a vet at this.
He's a vet.
I've never thought of it in that way. You know, I think it's just so amazing for the game. Mm-hmm. You know, to look at it and say, you know, obviously it's 12 of us, you know, going into the Hall of Fame, but, you know, out of the guys in the NBA, the 3 of the 4 are international players. I mean, that just shows how amazing this game is. And for any kid in the world, it just, you know, it shows that what can be accomplished. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think we all play this game because we love it. But then at some point, the baton got passed to us to make it bigger than us, right? To make it bigger to make the game bigger. And you guys are making the game bigger. And so for me to be on this platform together, I'm honored, you know, because, you know, of how great y'all are. To me, it doesn't matter where you're from, you know, where you played. We know the journey to be great. And so I never thought of it in that way. I'm just honored to be in the same breath as the greatness that's around this table. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
I have my days. I have days when I'm feeling dry. Yeah. And I have days when I'm feeling weak. Yeah. And I feel those are the days when I have to go deeper within myself. I've got to reconnect with the source and then be able to push that back out there. And so I always remind myself when I meet someone, though, that I'm really grateful for the kinds of things people say. You just introduced me to a couple of members of your family and your team here. Yeah. And I can't not stop, pause, and be grateful to hear those words and try and share that love back, because someone chose, and this was my intention when I started. When I started creating what I do today, I never believed in a million years that someone would choose to watch it over a TV show or over something else, but they do. Yeah. And so I want to honor that soul and be like, you're amazing for making this choice and decision that you chose to watch something that was built to elevate you, even if it wasn't a fun entertainment or fun escape. And so to me, when I hear that, I allow myself to receive it. I think there was a moment in my career early on where I'd be like, oh no.
Shy away from it a
yeah,
little
you
bit.
shy away from it. You'd be a bit modest. You're like, oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, it's cool. Thank you. And then you realize actually someone's sharing love with you.
Yeah.
And the way you keep being able to give love is if you allow yourself to receive it.
Yeah.
And so for me to stopping, being present, pausing and taking it in allows me to give it back and share it with others.
Yeah, I think you just said something so important. And it's something that I've had to, to come to grips with in a sense is when people do say the things they say to you and they do approach you, whether it's, it's something that you've changed their life, you changed the way they think, and you helped someone in their family, it's one of their loved ones. However you've done it, it's really this word humble and being humble. Sometimes you can be a little too humble. It's like, no, actually take your flowers. You know what I mean? Don't be so bashful away from trying to be too humble and actually take your flowers, but also understand what it is that you bring to this world.
Yes.
And the impact that you have on this world.
Those are the kind of conversations that we need more.
Do you feel that every conversation that you enter, that someone that they need a word from you? Like, do you feel like every conversation you have to be on?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So there was a time in my life where I felt like if I didn't say something profound, people would walk out the room. Like I was like, I felt that pressure. And what I found is if you have the pressure to say something profound, you rarely will say something profound because all you're doing is being paralyzed by the pressure.
Right.
And so that stress, definitely, I had that for a while. And I think as you get more comfortable with yourself and as you get more comfortable in your space, you start to realize all you can do is be present. And so now instead of pressurizing myself to say something profound, I'm like, just be here, just be present, just actually listen. And then maybe you'll say something that helps someone, and maybe you'll say something that everyone laughs at. And the truth is, it doesn't matter because that's all you had to give anyway.
Right.
And so I think now I would consider myself to be more comfortable in that discomfort and that uncertainty. But I think in the beginning, definitely, I felt like a lot of pressure. But now I'm just like, I want to be around people that I can just be around. And, I like a lot of normal things too. So I think people get surprised when I say like, I like playing NBA 2K or I like playing FIFA.
Why you think that? Like, they don't look at you as a normal person?
Yeah, because people just, I think we live in a world like probably similar to you. Like you get boxed.
Yeah, you get boxed.
Right? So like you're an athlete, you're a basketball player. That means you can't have interest in whatever. I don't know what, you can tell me what you get judged about. But for me, it's like, oh, you used to be a monk, even though now I'm married and we have businesses and we have ventures and we have purpose-driven, ideas and ideation. You get boxed and like, oh, this used to be your life. So then you can't have normal interests. And I'm like, no, I love NBA 2K. I love FIFA. I love sport. It's a massive part of my life. I love movies. I'm massively into movies. I love movies and entertainment. So there's so many normal things. And so now I've realized that I want more relationships where I can flip between playful and profound.
Yeah.
So I want to switch with people. I want to be able to talk about the latest game, and then I want to talk about a verse from a scripture that someone hasn't read. And I enjoyed those relationships because that to me is genuine and authentic and true to who I am, as opposed to just having to play one side of me. So I try and avoid relationships where I feel people can't accept and access all parts of myself. Yeah. And so for those who listen to my podcast or whatever, they know I'm addicted to all this other stuff. And it's good. Like, I'm glad. Yeah.
Right. I'm glad you said that. I was thinking of like monks, right? I grew up in the inner city of Chicago. And so you hear about certain people, places and things. You may never see them or never experience them. Your wife, Isabella, and I, and all of us, we got a chance to have a Miami moment.
Yep.
Talk about it, man.
So, now that my wife is like this big entrepreneur and fashionista, I'm a +1. I'm always now getting to go to some of the best events in the world. And I just, you're in the same place. Our wives are so out there and businesswomen and pushing and all this that I love being a +1 sometimes. It's kind of nice.
It's kind of easy.
But it was a beautiful setting. It was a Versace, Dua Lipa collab show. I think it was like 50 people or something like that. I was very nervous about the placement and about going to a Versace show because I thought it was going to be rubber and arrows through the head and all sorts of stuff. And it was awesome. It was such a cool event.
It was such a vibe. I remember sitting, like, it felt like we was all sitting courtside.
Right, exactly.
We all had our courtside seats. And I remember looking across the way and just taking a look at you. And I'm thinking, like, when I first met you, we weren't sitting at Versace shows. We were across from each other. It's a different world now.
Yeah, it's great. You know, I'm sure as many viewers know, I was lucky enough to start my career when you kind of started your career here in Miami, and to see the evolution and the growth of you and what you've done for the city, and to see where I've gotten to go from those days to where I am now. It's kind of great to have someone so connected to Miami as I am, because we both love the city.
Yeah, for sure.
Even though you left us to move away, but we know that you come a lot, and this city owes you so much. It's incredible. I started a family and stuff like that too.
In the middle of it.
Yeah, in the middle of it. Yeah, you know, and now I'm taking Miami to other markets, right? We just opened Komodo in Dallas, and we're going to open a couple more places there. And next week I open Poppy State, Komodo, Live Beach at the Fontainebleau in Las Vegas.
Wow.
So, and I've been fighting Las Vegas for so long, but this opportunity was too big for me to not do. And I think it's so cool to see Miami brands be able to grow in other markets.
How do you do that? Like, some people who are in the industry you're in one of the industries when it comes to the restaurant industry, they gotta taste the steak every night. They want to make sure that everything is exactly, you know, how they want it. And so it's hard for them to expand and hard for them to grow because they can't keep eyes on it. How do you be comfortable enough to take a baby of yours and your brand and let it go elsewhere?
So I'd love to say it's all me, but I have a great team, you know, and if you don't have a great team around you, you're never going to grow. And I always try to hire people that are smarter and better than me, so that it gives me that push to be able to go do what I do. And I think it's something that people ignore so much, is they're always afraid to hire people around them that are smarter and better than them. And it's been the key to my success. I have some of the best people. Yeah. Well, listen, I definitely, let's not forget something. You and I aren't in these chairs because we don't have ego. That's for sure. That being said, it's also partnering with great people as well. Like, you know, I partnered with Poppy, David Einhorn on Poppy Steak and the Fontainebleau in Las Vegas, and Bad Bunny at Gecko, and Pharrell, as you know, at Swan and the Good Time. So finding great partners is also good, and doing things that you do together that you love. Noah Tepperberg from Tao Group and I just opened a new restaurant here called Casa Donna. And it's doing so well, but I know one of the reasons why it's doing so well is because it's done with love. And when you do things for the love of something, it's good. Anytime I failed miserably, it's when I was trying to be spiteful. I tried to open a spite club when, as we started, I ran the Opium Group, which at that time was Mansion and Opium Garden and Privé and all that.
Oh, good times.
We had some really great moments there. And they wouldn't make me a partner. So then when I was able to be a partner in a club, which was Cameo, everything
Shout
I
out
did.
to Cameo. I had some good nights at Cameo.
Yeah, listen, still me. But everything I did was try to be spiteful and show them, you should have made me a partner and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I failed so miserably that they ended up buying the club from me because I was such a failure at it, because everything I did was to show them. So again, if your ethics, your beliefs, your systems aren't lined up correctly, you're going to fail.
Being a key holder here in Miami, I have been very proud of what you've built and what you've done. But it was one moment I haven't been proud of.
Okay.
And I understand it. It's business. But when you let the Dallas Mavericks come in to live and
wow. So we're going to talk about that now.
Celebrate.
I'm glad.
I was hurt, David.
So here, let me just paint the picture so we're on the same page. Saturday night, Mark Cuban's in my place. DJ Irie on the mic saying we're going to smoke some Cubans. And then I get the call after they went on Sunday. They're coming over. They came. They brought the trophy.
Oh, that hurt.
I knew it wasn't going to be good. And Maverick happened to be in the club that night as well. And Maverick goes, they won. They deserve it. I took a lot of heat, literally, in the press for a few years. But hot. You know what was so great was the next year when you guys did win the championship and you did bring it back to live.
Yes, we did.
And the year after that, moment. And the year after that, same thing again. Yeah. Right. So I was there for you guys. But yes, I understand. And,
getting that call hurt. Getting that call hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
At the time. Now, the next year, first of all, you comped everything. We had a great night on you. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you for that. And we did come back, after that, because we're always pissed. It's because we lost. It had nothing to do with you. But we was mad at ourselves.
I understand, but you know what's so great? I love telling the story about that championship party with the Miami Heat the next year. You can't reach out when you guys are up and stuff. I can't reach out. I was reaching out to Maverick, everybody. Mm-hmm. Are you guys gonna do? They go. We don't want to jinx it.
Yeah.
So you just have. It goes back to relationships. You just have to hope that all those years of taking care of you guys would pay off, for that you guys would bring the championship back to your stomping grounds. And listen, there was invites going out for all the other clubs and places. After party, and I'm like, oh no, did somebody get to somebody and da-da-da? And then when you guys roll up,
yeah,
you brought the whole thing. And then the following year, the repeat,
yeah,
same thing.
Well, it's all love, you know what it is.
But
I just had to bring it up.
Yeah, by the way, okay, I'm glad we got it off the chest.
We got it out the way in a nice, cool time. I didn't bring it to you a decade ago.
No, a few people did.
They did?
People, yeah.
I think the one thing that I appreciate about you is you treat those same celebrity relationships with just a regular customer that comes in,
of course, on
a Tuesday night the same way. That shows a lot about your character. But how do you create that experience, right? What goes into the thought process of creating the experience, knowing that you might have, one of the top celebrities coming in versus you just have someone who come in, this may be the only time to Komodo. What goes into that thought?
I think the main thing is if you just try to, for celebrity, it's always about safety and making sure that they know they could just be themselves and not have to worry about getting, bad press or this or people doing different things. And, listen, when you go places, you want to just know that you're safe in that place and you could just be yourself.
Yep.
I think if people could just be their self and have that time when they're sharing a meal with somebody or a club experience with some of their friends and know they don't have to worry about anything, I think that's the best part. I think also I treat everybody at the table the same. Not just hyper-focused on the celebrity or the whatever, but everyone at that table has such an interesting story. And for me, I love hearing people's stories, right? Where did you come from? How are you like this? What did you do? What do you do? I want to know it all.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of engagement and conversation connects.
I got to be known for the best in the games on Red Hook Day and things like that. So as a kid, I already had that mentality. My brother played. My cousins played.
Was your brother nice, or did
my brother was a real deal, man? I always give him his credit, man. I like always give him his flowers. You know what I'm saying? Because my brother was the heart and soul of Red Hook. You know what I mean? In Brooklyn. So my family, we lived. As soon as you walk in the building, 79 Lorraine Street, 1C, we was the first apartment that you had to go through to get to any other apartment in the building, and to the steps. So we really ran the actual. We was the gatekeepers of the actual building, but my family was big in the projects. Yeah. We was like one of the staple families in the projects. So it was always just love, community, and that's what I grew up in. And then I moved to Baltimore the summer of '92, and I thought the grass was green on that side. Well, my mother.
You were born in what, 84, 85?
I was born in 84.
Okay, so you were May
29th, 1984. I moved to Baltimore. Summer of '92.
Yeah.
And I was hurt.
Yeah.
Hurt.
Wait, and you were raised by your mother? Maybe?
I was raised by my mom. My dad passed when I was 2, right? So I was raised by my mom, my brothers, sister, that side of the family. But I was always involved on my other side, with my sisters on my dad's side.
Yeah.
So they used to take care of me, but my dad had a blended family. He's Puerto Rican, man. He was like, hey, everybody's under one roof over here. You know what I'm saying?
So you had a sense of family early on.
But even though him and my mom wasn't together, we still had that. It was just that family. Like, he come to the door with my sisters and what we doing?
Yeah.
Mira. What we doing? So That was the environment. Mira. But that was the environment. And then we have family in Baltimore that we used to go down in the summer, take those trips down in summer in the South and things like that. And then my mom was like, yo, we going down there to spend this summer. And never came back. I was hurt.
Man, it's like, when you're a kid, right? And you got to move, you got to uproot, you got to go. It's the little things. You're like, man, my bike, my homies, my this, my that. And, you feel like everything is like, they're just taking everything away from you. Everything that you knew,
Bro, I was just thinking about friends.
Yeah.
I was thinking about like growing up in that environment, like who I was going to be, friends with growing up. This was going to be my crew growing up. Like, you know what I mean? As a kid, you 8, 9 years old.
Yeah.
These are the things you just starting to find out. You're starting to gather your friends. You realize who are your close friends and where friends, who does what and putting the team together. That's when all of that mindset actually starts. So I was just leaving that at that point in time, going to Baltimore.
Going to be more.
So I already established it, but I didn't get a chance to play it out in Red Hook.
I've watched you. I've watched you when you got paper in front of you. You doodle a lot.
Yeah, of course.
Like what else did young Melo do?
I was called, my name was Cello, right?
Okay.
Nobody knows that.
Cello.
Right? Cello. That was my name in Red Hook. Everybody called me Cello, right? I guess it was Melo, Cello, good fella. You know what I mean? Hip hop was big back then, so they called me Cello. People in Red Hook called me Cello. So I was Cello to people in Red Hook.
Okay.
If you went back and be like, Melo, it's like, this is
Cello.
Right.
Yeah.
So I never understood where that name came from. Anyway, I was in Baltimore and I was known as Little New York.
Okay.
Right. So I came down with the Anthony Mason in the back, like New York, little New York in the back of my head, and my haircut.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was on. I was into graffiti and art, and I used to get in trouble in school for drawing sneakers on the desk and cartoon characters and tracing. I had tracing books. So I used to do all that. I was a kid. I did everything a kid did. I played with toys. My buddies, my buddy was one of my
not the black my buddy.
The black my buddy was my man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had the wrestling, the WWF, the wrestlers. I love wrestling.
Yeah.
My mom is a diehard wrestling fan. So I used to tape my bunk beds like the ring and jump off the top bunk to my brother's bed, and while he's sleeping, you know what I mean? Like it's.
Oh, you got a lot of weapons then, bro. Your mom ain't tell you?
I stayed in a room with my older brother. He had his own bed. It was bunk beds. My other brother, Just, was on the top.
Yeah.
And then me and my cousin on the bottom bunk. So it's 4 of us in the square.
Yeah.
We gotta make something happen. Like I'm the one that's just live in there. You know what I mean? I'm jumping from bed to bed to bed to bed. But when I got to Baltimore, to answer your question, man, I used to love drawing, paint. I never paint. I just never understood painting. Nobody showed me how to paint, but I know drawing and being creative, like understanding, just taking something and being able to break it down and put something around it and tell a story. But I had that.
So it was an outlet.
It was an outlet. I had that as a little kid. Like I always had the vision of like, damn, if I was to do that, then I would do it like this. Like I was always thinking like that as a kid.
So you were storytelling.
I was storytelling. Like I already had in my mind things that I would do when I was playing Little League football. Like, it was already like in my mind, that story was already told. Mm-hmm. If I did it and if I didn't do it, I had a story for that too.
I think that's one thing that's important for, let's just say athletes or young individuals that definitely come from the same community, the jungle where we come from, right?
Right.
Is understanding that we are storytellers because we have to create our own life in our mind. So being a kid, man, and I think we all know that pivotal moment in our life when we looked at that ball and we was like, I love that ball. I want to do this for the rest of my life. You're not thinking that at that time, but when you're going to sleep, you're thinking about it. When you're waking up, you're thinking about it. When you're in class, you're thinking about it. What point in your life do you remember early on where basketball became like the thing that brought you your confidence, the thing that brought you joy in the midst of the chaos of growing up in the jungle?
High school.
So it was at high school.
It was high school. When I was, baseball was my first love.
Okay, there we go.
You know
I just learned something. What? Talk to me about baseball.
I just love baseball. You know, maybe it's the Puerto Rican gene. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just love baseball. And when I was in Red Hook, we had a court right outside the window of the projects, right? So, yeah, I love, you know, I love playing basketball. I love going out there on the court. I love watching my brothers and family play and friends play, and I love playing on the monkey bars and jumping off the, imitating, being a kid. Yeah. But I didn't know it. I just knew it was an activity. When I got to Baltimore, I got a chance to play Little League baseball, baseball, and football season, I could play football, and basketball, I can play basketball too. It was like, basketball was like third on the list at that point, but I can play it.
Yeah.
I just had something about it, a different style of game that they were seeing down there in Baltimore, right? So I bought that New York flash and that, you know what I mean? That grit, that toughness down there to where I was at, on top of the grit and toughness that was already there.
Right, I was going to say that. What is Be More Basketball?
Be More Basketball is tough as it come. Grit, tough, get to it.
Did y'all play 21? Like, what was y'all game?
21, okay. We played 50. You know what I'm saying? We played 101. We played, you drive around somebody and you calling them out. Bet it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the culture.
Yeah.
This neighborhood got they basketball player. We got our basketball. You know what I mean? Let's go play. And a lot of that happened outside. It didn't happen in the rec center.
No.
So I was intrigued by that part of the game.
Okay.
Getting to it. I knew how to get to it as a kid. I knew I had to fight. I knew I got to push somebody into the fence. When I score, I got to, you know what I mean? Like, it was like, you got to exert that energy as a kid. You learn that as a kid.
Right.
So in Baltimore, coming from New York with that flashiness, and, I didn't know what the hell I was doing at 9 years old. But when you get down there, it's like, I can take my toughness on top of this grittiness and this environment that I'm in. This is a win-win situation for me. So I had that mentality young. But baseball was like,
what position?
Baseball.
What
I remember I was first base.
So you played first base. Were you a hitter? Were you a home run hitter? Talk to me about what kind of batter you were.
I was the baseball version of me as a basketball player.
Oh, so you went for it.
Yeah, I was going. It wasn't fun if I wasn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, I was young.
Yard,
I was young, so it wasn't fun for me to get it to second base. Like, I'm going.
Yeah, you swinging for the fences.
I say that I love baseball because I really was excited about baseball.
Yeah.
Right? I was excited about doing the essays, to pass the essays so you can go play on the, make the team, and doing your book reports. And I was excited about that. I wasn't excited like that about basketball.
Versace is a family name, a family brand. The idea, where did the idea come from?
So I was at university at the time, so in Florence. And Gianni was, he started to be a designer because we had a boutique in the south of Italy, and Gianni was helping for the buying of the clothes. He was going around buying the clothes. And then all of a sudden, two brands, remember that? They asked him, would you design something for us? Because he was asking particular thing for the store. So we understand he did something, He was describing what he wants. And he started with a small company. And that's how he started to be a designer. He didn't know it was going to be a big one. He just loved it to do it.
Yeah.
And I was at university in Florence. He was working in Bologna, which is very close. Every weekend I had to go and work with him. I have to. I want to go out and party with my friends, which I did anyway, but it was all about party all the time. I had to go to see what he was doing. People appreciate what, and little by little it became Gianni Versace.
Yeah. And
because he was always true to himself.
To himself, yeah.
Always free in his mind.
Yeah.
And because Gianni was gay, and at that time it was really difficult.
Very difficult.
To be gay.
Yeah.
So.
But he was free. He was a free
He
mind.
was a free man.
Yes.
He was a free man. He was pushing boundaries for people to accept themselves and to make it, to explain them, you are worth it.
You and I both have a love for a community. It's the LGBTQ plus community. We sit here right now. We're in West Hollywood at the LGBT Center here in LA, one of many. And you've done a lot of work. You've done an incredible amount of work.
I hope to do more.
Yes.
Because people, we are all the same.
Yes.
You know, with no difference.
Yeah.
And people should be look at and have a voice.
Yeah.
Like everybody else.
Yeah. Talk about your experiences.
What is this world missing for me is acceptance.
Acceptance. Yeah. Yes.
And with all of us be more accepting and you know, listen to different voice, different way of being.
Yeah. Have you had? I mean, as a father who, you know, daughter is part of, you know, this community, which our family is a part of the community. My daughter Zaya. I've obviously had, as we know, we have a lot of hate, but we also have a lot of support.
That's horrible.
Right.
Hate for what?
Right.
To do for helping do the right thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Have you had to deal with a lot of that personally? You had to deal with a lot of hate because of your support of the community?
Well, I had a lot of hate right Jenny after that because people who said that he's gay, he was gay.
Yeah.
So it was my fault because I don't know, something people are not accepting. No, acceptance is a very, very difficult thing.
For a lot of people.
I mean, when Jenny that was 25, 27 years ago, it's still the same today.
Yeah.
You know, you think you reach different places where people accept each other. No.
Yeah.
I don't think, I mean, I hope it will be like that, but it's not.
Yeah. I mean,
it's up to us. We have a voice to explain to people we are all the same.
Yeah, that's one thing that links us is the fact that, you know, we both, you know, support, you know, the LGBT.
You know, my brother
community.
was gay, Johnny, and he went through hell at that time because it was a long time ago.
Yeah,
people were making fun of him. People were calling names. He went through a very, very rough time.
Yeah,
and I always support him. I always, you know.
Well, I mean, you're doing an incredible job, and I know
I'm very happy to do this for this center. It's amazing.
This center is incredible. This is my first time
incredible.
Here.
What we do is incredible.
In your time, how have you seen the acceptance? How have you seen it grow or
the acceptance
dissolve?
Grow in the big cities all over the world. Only the big cities. But LA, if you go away, New York, Rome, Milan, other cities.
Yeah.
But when you go out from the big city, it's the same.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the because not enough people talk about this. No people explain what is it. You know, there is no difference really. You know, it's what counts is what you are as a person, your values, how you live your life, how you respect people. But acceptance need to be a real thing.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, I mean, my family and I, who you know, we feel that we've gotten richer as a family because we've been, you know, lucky enough to get to know and be accepted by and added to a community. Our life has gotten richer because of it, you know, and that's, you know, that's
so good for you
that's the way we feel, you know, and that's the way we look at it, and we're so thankful for you know, our daughter to share her community with us and allow us, you know, to be a part of it and to be allies and to be, you know, people who speak on and be a part of it, because we understand the importance, you know, of it as a black male, as a black man who's from a black community that, you know, we feel is always getting, you know, stumped down and stepped down and, you know, and not getting a chance to grow. I don't feel that we should do it. Why would we do it? Why would we do it to another community? Yeah. We don't like it the way it's been done to us, and so. You know, we try to make sure as a Wade family that, you know, we're building relationships. We're speaking on and speaking out from our personal experiences, but also to understanding that so many families, you know, are going through this feeling of not being accepted. So many people.
Yeah, that's horrible. That's terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, you did a fantastic thing with your daughter. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And the people admire you for that.
So the last time I seen you was Art Basel in Miami. And I know why I was out there. Let's talk about why you were out there. Let's talk about why you were out there. What were you doing at Art Basel out there?
Well, I live there now. I live in Miami. I'm literally the most I'm ever in any one place per year is maybe 100 days.
Yeah.
Like this year, I think I'm racking up 107.
So why are you not anywhere? Let's talk about
the
brand and the business
I'm trying to keep up
Lindsey
with you.
Vonn.
You know, it's a hard world out there, and I'm just trying to keep up with D Wade. It's
don't,
hard.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, I am. I'm not even like, as much as I'm joking, I'm dead serious. You're a fucking boss, and you know, you're an owner of an NBA team, and
WNBA as well. WNBA.
Yeah, and WNBA and the Real Salt Lake, and you know, your wines and all these things, and I feel so insignificant. So I'm just trying to keep up with you.
Okay.
You're making me feel, you know, it's like, this is like,
I actually put these up because I knew you were coming. And I was like, listen, Lindsey is coming. And she has
they're not there all the time?
These are new.
Really?
Yes. You're the first interview in my office. This is the first time these trophies been up.
That means a lot.
And all these partnerships that you have that takes all your time away, what do they consist of? Talk to us about, like, what do you do?
Well, I mean, I don't do any brand deals that I don't believe in or products that I don't use.
Now, is that just
what
you say to the media?
That's true. No, all my relationships are very long-standing. So I've been with Rolex since 2009.
Wow.
Red Bull since I was like 20 years old, which, you know, we're not going to count how many years that is, but it's a few. Under Armour, I was pretty much one of the first female athletes and the longest standing athlete, almost 20 years with them. So I pick brands that believe in me as much as I believe in them. Ooh. And I want to build like a long lasting relationship.
I pick brands.
I pick brands.
See, that was a bar right there, because most people, brands have to find them and come to them. You said, I pick brands.
I mean,
that's the level of Lindsey Vonn right there. You picking brands. I love that.
I'm trying. I mean, there's definitely, you know, a lot of years where I didn't pick the brands, but, you know, I think I was careful with my choices.
Yeah.
You know, there's definitely, especially in the middle to end of my career, there's a lot of brands that are coming at me with a lot of money, but they weren't in line with who I was as a person. Yeah. So I didn't go with them.
We retired around the same time. Right? We got
honored
at the SB.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to the
Gronk,
SB.
and then Gronk, you know,
and then
went
Gronk
back.
came back. Yeah, but I had a lot of surgeries. You've had a lot of surgeries.
Surgeries.
We couldn't just go back.
Yeah, you're like bone on bone. I'm bone on bone.
Yeah, I'm bone on bone.
Yeah,
like
both knees, one knee.
Well, both. I think both, but like one is really like knee replacement. The other one is because of compensation.
I got your guy. I got a guy for the replacement. Okay. When you're ready.
Hopefully 20 years from now.
Really? No, I think it's, well.
Would you get one earlier? Would you get a knee replacement?
I have a schedule for end of March. Yeah. I honestly, I had a preparation surgery a couple months ago for the replacement, but it went really well. I did some cleanup, got a lot of osteophytes, which is like bone calluses out of there, and it feels pretty good. So I'm gonna get another injection on Monday, and we'll see.
Okay, we need to talk.
Yeah, we
need to talk.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you brought that up, because I personally know how many surgeries. Like, I mean, every time, like, you've had ACL, you have MCL, you've had all meniscus, you've had all the worst surgeries that you can. Every surgery you can have in your knee.
Yeah.
But in the midst of that, I still see you tossing tires. I still see you going like you get low. Like, I can't bend my knee like that. Like, so what do you do in the midst of like your rehab? What makes your rehab so special where you can be an athlete when I can't be an athlete no more?
Did you do your rehab?
I mean, maybe I didn't. What did your rehab consist of?
Range of motion. That's like the number one thing. I still work on that today.
I remember you had one of the ugliest accidents I've ever seen.
I was waiting for what was at the end of that.
Yeah, it was just one of the ugliest accidents ever. And you tore a lot of things.
A lot of things. So many things.
Yeah. Can we go back to that? I'm sorry to go back there. Can we go back to that moment?
I don't care.
Okay. Can you take us back there?
Yeah.
What year was it?
2013 was my first. It kind of set, like, that was the first domino to fall. And after that, it was like a series of unfortunate events, a lot of surgeries, a lot of injuries. But my first crash that was really bad, I tore my MCL off the bone, which is hard to do. My ACL, and I had a tibia plateau fracture. My meniscus was okay. Some small tears, but mainly the big thing was the MCL.
Yeah.
So I had to repair both of those. The MCL is one of the ligaments that has the most blood flow, so it heals fast. But because it was off the bone, then it made it more complicated. So it's a little nitty gritty, but it took me a while. And then I blew it out then 9 months later again. I had a brace on and everything. I had done all the right things, but in ski racing, it's like one small little thing can go wrong and you crash, you're in the fences and your leg's in like a pretzel.
So for everybody out there, if I didn't start off saying it, I mean, Lindsey is one of the greatest skiers of our time. She's legendary. It's little girls right now growing up with pictures and photos and everything of Lindsey Vonn around their room. And even though she don't want that, she's the GOAT.
I love skiing fast. Like that's what excites me.
Where did it come from?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I love skiing because I just love skiing. Like when I was a kid, it was the only thing my family did together.
Yeah.
We didn't go to the beach. We didn't really have any money for those kinds of things. So, we'd jump in my grandfather's old Suburban and we drive to Colorado and we all go skiing.
Yeah.
And, when I started racing, I honestly wasn't very fast. I just loved, to do it. And then I became better. And then I decided I wanted to be in the Olympics. And then I started working hard and I started really going fast. And then I really loved it.
How do you go fast? Like, you wasn't, like, to me, someone who don't know, I just think if you're going downhill, you're going fast.
So it's kind of like driving a car. Like when you put your foot on the gas pedal, you're going faster, right? For me, I just point my tips downhill and I go faster. Like I can gauge how fast I'm going or not. It's kind of like that. And then the way I see, when you're racing, you see a line. It's very similar to a road, like a race, like a Formula One track where I see, the line that I want to take and where I want to accelerate or decelerate and, what I need to hit or avoid.
Bob, what you got for us as we take our first break?
So when was the moment you realized you were going to be nice? Like, when did you realize you were going to be special?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was always my dream, right? When you have a dream to be professional, my dream is to be an Olympian.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think I was going to be anything other than an Olympian. And then once I made it to the Olympics and I was 17, then it's, like, okay, what's the next goal?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like you're competitive and you want to be better every time. And so it's, one thing after the next, and I just got better and better and, winning more and more. And I didn't think I was special. I just loved what I was doing and I strived to always be better. And by the end, it was pretty good.
You think you can be great without loving what you're doing?
Not truly. I mean, I think I've met a lot of athletes that are really good at what they do.
Yeah.
But they're not great because they really don't have that like deep inner passion for it.
Yeah.
And they could have won so much more if they had that passion. And I think it has to come, a lot of parents push their kids into sports and, again, they're naturally gifted. They love to do it, but the passion's not there.
Yeah.
And eventually they don't like it. I've seen a lot of athletes retire way before their time because they just don't enjoy it.
Well, it's a lot of things that can take the enjoyment out, the love out when you're
a lot of things,
when you're going through the journey.
Oh yeah, a lot. A lot of things.
Like when you're a kid, you're like, oh, I want to be this. Or I'm gonna be this. When you're a kid, you say, I'm gonna be this. I'm like my son. He'll say, oh, I'm gonna be an NBA. It's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Then you got to actually do the work to get an NBA. You are not a stranger to winning. Talk to me about your obsession, because I know it became an obsession to winning. So was it your first win?
Takes one to know one.
Yeah, I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
So was it when you forgot your first win, you became obsessed, or what? Like, what was your obsession to winning, and where did it start?
I mean, I actually really liked winning when I was a kid because I was probably like 10, 11, and I was beating kids that were like 14, 15. I was beating all the kids that made fun of me, and I really enjoyed that.
Sounds good.
I didn't talk much when I was younger. I just didn't, again, I was racing with kids that were a lot older than me. And at that age, there was such a social gap that I didn't know what my place was. And so my place was skiing fast.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I won, that gave me like a seat at the table.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I really loved it because that was my way of being like different and cool.
Mm-hmm.
I was not that cool.
Which you are. You're different and cool.
I mean, I guess.
None of us are that cool until we become different and cool. Like, I wasn't cool until I was, walk with 3 Larry
Are you
O'Brien.
probably always cool? Yeah.
No, I was like real square and real quiet and real nerdish. But not nerd like smart, nerd like just
Yeah, that was me.
To himself.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Not cool at all.
I don't believe that entirely, but okay.
No, then
I'll take it.
Sports helped me become come out of my shell.
Okay,
Yeah.
out of your shell.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's. I don't know if I ever came really out of my shell, but I definitely found my confidence.
Yeah,
like a lot more confident because of winning.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think it only became an obsession when it was on the bigger stages, and I liked trying to one up myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was kind of like a bet I made with myself. Like, how many can you win? You know, what's the next one? And
so you were competing against yourself. I mean, I know you were competing against the field, of course. But
it was always me against myself because there was no one harsher. There's no harsher critic than myself.